Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to my public live stream. Our local time is 10:50 p.m. Saturday night, which is the UK time, dear viewers. And today we're going to get a guest speaker, Teacher Joy, who is a US Hallo teacher. We're expecting that she might be joining us in no time. Hello, MK. Welcome. MK, looks like you are Rahim Khan, yeah? Good morning. Alina, hello, welcome. Amuk, hello. Is it Sarah? Hello, welcome. Welcome all the lovely people who have joined at this moment. It is around 3 p.m. in the United States of America, around 11 p.m. in the UK, 12 in European time, and midnight in many Asian countries like Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, and early morning like Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Indonesia, and Malaysia, and many other countries. So, dear viewers, welcome once again. It's really my pleasure to see you and meet you all the new people. Hi, Asna, welcome. Hello, Zinab, good morning. It's too late for you. Okay. That's right, Elena. It's 10:51 p.m. in the UK. And today we're going to get a guest speaker, Teacher Joy, who is a newly recruited US Hello teacher. As you might be aware, through these live streams, I try to bring and introduce all of our teachers who joined at the beginning of this app from the last year. So I started this theme at the beginning of February of this year, and it's like ongoing program. Okay, so hello, Amuk. Good night. Hello, Taha. Welcome. Mahmoud says good afternoon. Welcome. Edgar. Hey, is it our Edgar? Welcome, Edgar. Thanks for joining. And welcome all the new people, all the lovely viewers once again. It's Saturday night here, and I'm waiting for Teacher Joy, who might be joining us in no time. So let's move on. And in the meantime, I'm sure, guys, Hello has changed over the period of time for the last few months, and it is really moving slowly, but still we're on the developmental phase. And as you know that uh, we are going to get many amazing features we have got already, honestly, guys, and we're going to get many new features in the future. Okay, so Alina, and welcome again. Is Ailul, welcome. Edgar, yes, long time no see. Okay, Cristiano, welcome. Aya, welcome. Zawan, welcome. Okay, guys, let's wait a little bit until we get our guest speaker. I wish I could bring you guys and talk to you, but unfortunately, because of the Hello policy, I can't bring any other person other than a teacher on my public live stream. So, as you might be aware, during the public live stream, only a Hello teacher can join another Hello teacher, not even the subscribed students. Okay. Hi, Rose. Welcome. So, once again, dear viewers, it's really an amazing and a time for us to get the new teacher Joy. Okay, so welcome again, all the lovely people. If you have any questions or comments about the app or the teacher or courses or lessons, you're welcome to ask me in the commentary section, and I'll be happy to read out loudly and answer you. Okay, so Cristiano again, Rose, I'm sorry, not Raz, Zawan, Amuk. All you guys are having good time and fun time. Hello, Mohed, welcome. Hang on a moment, please. I think teacher has responded me. I just sent a message to her that I'm starting my live stream now so that she can join me. Okay. Hello, Droban. Uh, Hello, Angela. Welcome. I'm happy to see you. So today our invited guest speaker is Teacher Joy, who is from the United States of America. She's one of the amazing new teachers of this app, and she's going to join us in no time. All right. Alina says, "Teacher, how can I be successful in IELTS exam? By practicing a lot." Remember that practice is the only solution. Without practicing, you can't be successful anywhere. Not only the exam. If you're a cricketer, footballer, or any other sportsman, or any other profession where you need to have, physical performance, okay, and where you need to practice a lot. So it is a really important matter for you to practice on a regular basis, consistently, with your best efforts. Hi, Linda. Welcome. I'm doing great. Thank you. Mahmoud says, "How can I learn English? I'm native Arabic speaker." Okay, so this is the first step we have taken, Mahmoud, joining this app. And you need to practice speaking. That's the primary condition. Regardless, whatever knowledge you've got, it doesn't matter. You make mistakes, or it doesn't matter there is wrong in pronunciation. But I believe that you need to talk. You need to find a speaking partner. Do you know our Instamatch? If you're using the mobile phone, you'll find Instamatch on the right hand corner. Let me try to show you if you can see it or not. Where is the Instamatch gone? So when you go to the home page on the right hand corner side, yeah, you can see the the blue button. It's called Instamatch. Click there. I'm sure you'll be able to connect to other fellow students who are waiting to talk. It's totally free, but if you like to make Instamatch with a teacher, you need to pay in that case. All right. So Rose says she's lovely teacher. She is indeed. Zawan says, "I have a question. Please cross where you can go with student and classes." I didn't get your question, unfortunately. Alina says you can subscribe. Okay, I understand now. Thanks for explaining. You're welcome, Alina. You have problem in writing and reading. You need to develop a reading habit. You need to read variety of topics, starting from science, commerce, arts, business, celebrity news, COVID, unemployment, obituary, politics, discovery, geography, whatever you are interested, for you, whatever is interesting for you, whatever you are interested at. Okay. And for writing, you need to have a practice and make sure you get it checked by a qualified teacher who can help you, suggest you, and show you the guidelines. Oops. So that you know what to write. Mohammed says, "I need to learn some things. Finances. Oh, I don't know if there is any course about finances from this app." Hi, Teacher Joy is here. Welcome. Teacher Joy, you need to send me a hop on request. Then I'll be able to bring you. So, dear viewers, our guest speaker, Teacher Joy, is here. She's here. I'm happy to see her. Okay, Rose says, "I thought Instamatch." No, Instamatch means instant matching of speaking partner. There is no relation with Instagram. Okay. Teacher Joy is here. Yahoo. 1, 2, 3. Yay.
Hello.
Welcome, Teacher Joy.
Thank you.
So, dear viewers,
How's everybody today?
I'm doing fantastic. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
The longest fake word in the world.
One of them. Okay. So,
Yes.
welcome, Teacher Joy. And I think that you have some times for us, right?
I have some what?
How long you can stay with us?
I can stay up to an hour and then I have to start teaching at Q Kids.
All right. Okay. So we'll be finishing before an hour, hopefully. All right.
Okay.
So, dear viewers,
Sounds good.
we'd like to welcome once again Teacher Joy. People who have not seen her, once again, she's one of the amazing teachers of the Hallo app. She's from the United States of America. We're going to know a little bit more about her, childhood, studies, likings, dislikings, how she ended up coming here, good experience, bad
Yeah.
experience, etc., etc. So get ready to ask questions for her, but she's going to answer it after a while. Let me talk to her first. Welcome, Teacher Joy. I'm very happy that you have managed time to be my guest speaker. And I know that you have got a
Well, thank you.
question that how we can be a successful Hello teacher. We are going to answer it today in the live stream as well.
Oh, good. Good. Sounds good.
Okay, so welcome everyone. And thank you very much, Teacher
Oh,
Joy.
I'm glad some familiar people. Roz, I haven't seen her in a while.
Okay, so let's move on. Teacher Joy, please tell us from which state of the USA you're from and your maybe your childhood, primary, secondary school education up to now, please.
Well, I was born in Michigan, but when I was about 7 years old, we moved to California. So I pretty much grew up in California. And then actually during COVID, we moved out to Baltimore. But my mom has been having some health issues very recently. So I'm out in California right now. So I brought my teaching materials with me, and I'm out here in California for a couple more days. But then I have to head back to Baltimore. I'm kind of in the process of trying to talk my husband into moving to Nevada because I think Baltimore is too cold.
So is Baltimore is in another city of California? I don't have much.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I live just outside of Baltimore, and Baltimore is a large city in Maryland.
All right, because I don't have much idea about the geographic location of America. I'm sorry.
Sure, sure. Oh, no, no problem.
So
I
you
apologize for
no,
not
no,
clarifying.
no, that's okay. If I'm confused, I'm going to ask you, Teacher Joy. So tell us about your primary school, secondary school, and your other education.
Sure, sure. Well, we moved around a lot when I was a child, so it seems almost every year I was at a different school. So I learned how to make friends easily. And it seemed like every time I moved, the students were in a different place in the learning process. So I had to be very adaptable. And so that was I think a good learning experience, learning how to be very adaptable in the way you learn how to learn. But by the time I got to high school, we stayed put. So that was good. And so for high school, stayed in the same high school. I took the foreign language of Spanish because we lived in Southern California at the time. And there's many people of the South American, Central American, Mexican background there. And knowing some Spanish is always a good thing to do. So I took Spanish and started the Spanish club, and that was a lot of fun. And I think learning languages is an important thing to do, knowing another language. And I decided to become a teacher, so I went to college,
Mm-hmm.
and my major was liberal studies, which is the undergraduate major for that. And I ended up teaching at a private school, the elementary grades.
Okay.
So
So one
yes,
one question here, Teacher Joy. Liberal studies. I've heard this subject, but I haven't got enough idea. Could you please explain a little bit more?
sure. What did you want to know more about?
What does it contain, the course contain, or the your whole curriculum contains?
Oh, yeah, when I was in college?
Yeah, the liberal studies, your major.
Oh, well, think in terms of a liberal arts major. It's a little bit of everything. It's science, philosophy, arts. It's a little bit of everything. You have to know a little bit of everything. And you did get to choose some electives along the way. So I found that I enjoyed philosophy. So I took a couple extra philosophy classes, a couple extra writing classes because I enjoyed writing. And so I kind of added that too. I had played with the idea of minoring in philosophy, but that's not the kind of major that gets you anywhere, kind of a thing. So there's not much for anyone who minors in philosophy. It was just something I enjoyed. And so like I said, think of it in terms of a very broad liberal arts degree. So I kind of started from the beginning, the Greeks and the Romans and all that sort of thing, and kind of moved forward in my studies towards the present day and science. And I can tell you, I'm not the best at science, so that was definitely a challenge. And I'm terrible at math, I'll tell you that right now. So luckily, they had a requirement for math, and I was able to take a business math class to meet that requirement. So that was helpful. So anyway, along the way, my what do you call it? Your counselor, the person who counsels you on what you have to take.
Student advisor?
Yeah, like your student advisor. For some reason, he told me I had to take an actual art class, like actual painting. He said either actual painting or actual dancing or actual something, not like art history. And I'm like, really? He said, yes. So I took an actual painting class, and I actually enjoyed it, and then found out later that I didn't need to take it. But I didn't feel like it was wasted because I learned a lot. And it's funny how things in life work out that way. That you
okay.
you end up doing something you didn't have to do, but you end up being enriched by it anyway. So.
All right. Right, Teacher Joy. So, Teacher Joy, when you were a child, what was your ambition that you would be when you would be grown up?
Well, I think when I was very young, because I loved animals, I wanted to be a veterinarian. But the thing I realized about myself pretty early on was that I wasn't very great at science, and I was terrible at math. And those were things I was going to have to be good at to be a veterinarian. So I just decided, well, I guess I'm just going to have to be an animal lover and not fix animals. And of course, I was okay with that. I was okay with that.
All right.
You have to learn what your strengths are and find what you can do with those strengths. And I realized that teaching children, that is actually a better place to be. That children are the future, and teaching children was going to be a very satisfying place for me to be. And I enjoy children very much. They're a lot of fun. And it's a wonderful thing to see the light of understanding go on. And actually, when I had the experience of teaching adults, I realized that light of understanding goes on in their eyes too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's great. Thanks for the information, Teacher Joy. So I'm going to ask you some personal question like, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
And favorite food?
Oh, favorite food. That's a hard one.
All right. Do you know
I
how
would
to?
have to say it's creme brulee.
Oh, would you like to explain? It's a new for me this term.
Creme brulee is a dessert. It's a French dessert,
Mm-hmm.
and it's mainly a custard dessert. So that you're going to have to take that underground tunnel over to Paris and order one. But actually, I bet you could get one in London if you wanted to.
I believe
But
so.
it's delicious.
Okay, that's cool. And I'm sure you know how to cook, don't you?
I know how to follow a recipe. I'm not one of those cooks that can just throw things together, a pinch of this, a pinch of that, and I'm done. But I know how to follow a recipe, yes.
Okay. And how do you spend your leisure time or free time?
Oh, wow. Well, when I'm not recovering from surgery, I enjoy taking walks in the local parks. I enjoy reading. I am teaching myself hand lettering right now,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of an art, which, I always convince myself, oh, Joy, you're not an artist. You're not an artist. But I think you can learn how to be an artist if you want to. So I'm trying to teach myself that. So that's what I've been spending my time on in more recent times.
Okay.
And I spend a lot of time on my classes.
Mm-hmm. You
Yeah.
seem that you're a very passionate teacher to teach anyone. That's really cool.
Thank you. So are you.
Thank you very much. Yes, I try to give my best efforts for everyone. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, teacher, what are your hobbies? You can mention two or three.
Um, Hobbies. Well, like I said, I've taken up this hand lettering. So that's a newer hobby. And I've always been a big reader. I love to read.
Uh,
And I read anything from nonfiction. Believe it or not, I really like science fiction.
Stephen
And I
King.
also read,
Stephen King.
no, not Stephen King is horror. I don't read horror. No, I don't like to have to sleep with the lights on. Um, Science fiction, space, going out into space and
So,
space exploration,
did
things like that. Futuristic.
did you read Stephen Hawking's A Brief History of Time?
Yeah, that's right. Black holes and
Yeah.
colonizing other planets.
Mm-hmm.
How exciting would that be? I think that sounds like a very exciting prospect. And unfortunately, you and I won't live long enough to see anything like that happen. But I sure have hopes that the human race will live long enough to see something like that happen.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember that movie Star Treks?
Oh, yes.
And they have a Klingon language in that movie, if you remember.
Yes. Yes.
And I was reading the biography of William Shakespeare, and it says some of his Shakespeare's uh, names are given to this Klingon knowledge of Star Trek's movie. That's really amazing. I didn't know that.
Isn't that funny?
It is
Yeah.
surprising as well. Okay,
And what I think is funny is there's an actual Klingon language. They don't just make it up as they go along.
that is the more impressive part of that fact.
Yeah.
Okay, so dear viewers, today we are having conversation with the US Hello Teacher Joy. If you have any questions, write in the comment section. She's going to read it, as well as I am going to read it for her if something is missed. And she doesn't have much time, so we are going to finish in the next 40 minutes maximum. So let's move on, Teacher Joy. And do you have pets like dogs or cats?
Yes, I have a cat.
And
I do.
what's his name?
Her name is Crystal.
How old is she?
She is 12 years old.
Do you know what is cat calling? The word?
What is cat calling?
Yeah. Do you know this word?
No. What does that mean?
Oh, okay. I'm sure Teacher Joy and many people who like to have cats, when a cat has a mating time, how the way it calls? It says
Oh,
meow.
all the yowling,
Yeah, like,
all the yowling they do. Yes.
but that is the normal meaning. But literally, cat calling is a word when any male makes bad comments by seeing another girl or woman, like whistling, saying bad words, or saying anything that is abusive, and this word is called altogether catcalling.
Ah, okay. I think that is a well-named term
Yeah,
then.
in the UK
Yes.
we use this word very often. When police catches some street guys who like to say bad things to the girls or the women, and they've got
Mhm.
punishment. When this law came, antisocial behavior, we had a new law came few years back. After that, these things stopped, drastically, which is really
Yes.
amazing.
Wow. What about wolf whistling? Does that come in? Does that fall under the umbrella of cat calling?
Yeah, I think so, because catcalling has a big
Yeah.
definition. It's like ip teasing as well.
Sure.
Yes, I mean ip teasing, saying bad words or proposing sexual anything. We call altogether catcalling. Okay,
Yes.
so
That's it's very obnoxious.
it is indeed. So let's move on a little bit more. So, teacher, when did you think that you should be a teacher, and why did you think that?
Well, for a long time, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I would have to say that by the time I got into maybe the 7th or 8th grade, that's when I knew I wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
That's when I knew. Yes.
Did anyone
I
motivate you?
well, I saw what my teachers were doing, and actually I think I kind of feel sorry for junior high teachers because they really put up with a lot. I would not want to be a junior high teacher because kids of that age can be very difficult. And you really, it goes beyond having patience because they can really act out, and they're kind of in that tween to teenage kind of. It's a difficult time for the students, and they're not always polite. And but I thought, wow, that's really amazing to have that kind of a connection, and to be able to impart information that these students are going to need and influence how they're going to go out into the world. You get to touch these lives, and they touch your life in a way that is so significant.
Mm-hmm.
In the good situations, of course, not the rude students, the good students, and I know how influential those teachers were for me. I wasn't the most confident student out there. I thought I was stupid for a long time. I had someone in my life who repeatedly told me I was stupid.
Really?
And I'm sorry?
Who told you this type of what?
Oh, it was a family member. It was my aunt. Unfortunately, I spent a lot of time with my aunt. She was a very troubled person, and she told me I was stupid, and she told me I was retarded. And she told me quite frequently. And when you're told that by an authority figure enough times from a young enough age over the years, you come to believe it. And, one of the things they do in classrooms, at least in the United States, is they break the students up into groups, kind of like an A group, B group, or C group. And I would always opt to go into the C group, the lowest group there was. And I remember my mother telling me, I went to another, teacher conference, and they're telling me you should be in either the A or the B group, but they can't persuade you to come out of the C group. And I'm like, well, I'm not smart enough for the A group or the B group. And she'd say, yes, you are. Your teacher says you are smart enough.
I'm sorry to
But
hear
I,
that,
I
Teacher
did not
Joy.
believe it.
Sorry to hear the Teacher Joy.
Well,
You believed it. That is,
well, I
as a young,
yeah, I learned.
yeah,
Yeah, I learned eventually that I wasn't stupid. I
yeah.
did. I did find that out eventually, that I wasn't. That I was actually pretty smart, and and then I started performing up to where I was all along. Um, but a big part of that message is believing in yourself. Is 90% of how you're going to do at anything you do in life, including learning another language. Do you believe you can do it? And if you do believe it, you can, and you will.
And honestly, Teacher Joy, even if I don't believe it, I have to create that confidence level inside me. No, I will do it by
That's
hook
right.
or by crook, by any means.
That's right. And that is your affirmation right there.
Exactly. Okay, one minute, Teacher Joy. There are a few comments. Let me welcome Elena again, Rose, Jose, and Dilshad, and Linda, beginner, Harry, and all the lovely people. There are two questions already. Uh,
Oh, okay.
one from I think Elena. I have a question to Teacher Joy. If you become a teacher to children, what's the best way to teach them?
Well, you have to start with plenty of patience and encouragement. Those are the two biggest things you need. And love for children.
Okay, now Jose is another amazing guy who lives in the United States of America. He has
Okay.
a question for you. How
All right.
long it took for you to overcome that situation, that believe that you're better than anyone, you're smarter than other girls?
Well, I don't believe I'm smarter than other girls. I'm as smart, at least. And it took a couple of years of being away from my aunt's influence,
Uh,
and realizing that I could perform the schoolwork that was assigned to me and get A's and B's and actually be in AP classes and perform at that level.
Okay.
I actually had to do it, and I had to be away from her influence.
Great, Teacher Joy. There are a few other questions. One question is from Adnan. Adnan has asked, what is the best way to learn English or develop English?
What's the best way to learn English?
Yeah, I believe that he meant to develop English, because we know all of us know more or less English language, okay? So we need to develop ourselves to the next level. So according to your opinion, what would be the best way to do that?
Well, first of all, you have to practice a lot. Practice a lot. And you have to have the confidence. You really have to build your confidence that you can do it, that you can speak in front of other people. I know a lot of my students are hesitant to speak in front of other people. You need to build up that confidence that you can and you will, and that there is no reason to be embarrassed or hesitant in front of anybody else. You're as good as anybody else, and you don't have to be afraid that anybody's going to laugh at you. They're going to be amazed at how great you are.
That's right. Exactly. So, Teacher Joy, you became teacher and you started teaching children, as you said, right?
I did. I
I,
did.
all right. So I'm going back to the Hello now. How did you know about the Hello, and when did you decide to apply as a teacher?
I applied in August, this last August, and I found out about it through Sherry. I guess she's been with Hallo for what, about a year now?
That's
You know Sherry, right?
Yes, I know all the teachers. Yeah, I know.
So I found out about it through Sherry. I had to stop teaching elementary school. I developed a chronic illness that made it so that I could not be consistently in the classroom. And I ended up having to switch careers. So I ended up working for corporate America. And strangely enough, I ended up in basically training adults. I ended up training adults. So teaching adults. And that ended up being my job. And I was able to do that more or less part-time. So that was a very fortunate situation. And when I found out about teaching ESL online, that was like, oh my gosh, this is the perfect situation. And I wasn't ready for a while to teach adults ESL. But when Sherry suggested to me, it was like, I'm ready for this. And it's been so exciting.
Okay.
And listening to the progress that my students have made, it's been amazing. It's just been an amazing experience.
Okay. So, as a teacher, what do you think your strengths?
Well, first of all, the patience I've learned over the years is probably my number one strength. And also my ability to find alternate ways to teach the same thing. Because teaching one thing the same way is not going to work for every student. And you have to have an open mind to be able to find what's going to work for this student, because we're not a bunch of cookie cutter people. We all learn differently. But you know what? We all do learn. to say, I can't learn it. I can't learn. It's not true. It is just not true. I don't believe that. Everybody can learn. It's just finding the way you learn. How do you learn? I just need to find that way.
Okay, now here is a challenging question, Teacher Joy.
Yeah.
Because we all are different kinds of learners, and when you are teaching in a group, either for children or for the adults, so how do you prepare your lesson for them so that from one lesson each and every student can learn from it?
Well, I realize that because I'm talking to a group of students, it's a verbal lesson to start with. But if the verbal part isn't working, I'll say, write it down and look at it. And I'm a big user of whiteboards. I love whiteboards. So I frequently write whatever the sentence is, the word is, on a whiteboard, because I know some people are visual, or I know maybe they need to see it so they can write it down so that they have the action of writing it themselves. So I'm frequently using those whiteboards on top of speaking whatever the lesson is, so that I can reach as many people as I can.
Okay, that's cool. So there is another question. It's for both
Yeah.
of us.
Uh-huh.
What are the conditions to be a successful teacher?
On Hallo?
On Hallo, outside of Hallo, it is. Uh,
Well, I think you need to be the one to answer the question about Hallo, because I'm still pretty new here. But on other platforms, it's been perseverance, seeing that student across from you as your best friend, and teaching that student as if they were your best friend, because you know what? They kind of are, even though you don't know them yet.
mhm.
And try to make it as fun and interesting as possible for them, because it's not necessarily that you have to be an edutainer, but the more interesting it is, the more likely it's going to stay in their heads.
Okay, I got your point. Thanks for the clarification.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Teacher Joy, let's move on. And when you joined on the Hello, how was your feeling for the first day? I'm going to answer this question about successful at the end, okay? Because I'm trying to know as much as possible from you, because you have got only 20 minutes more.
Okay.
So when you started your first live stream on the very first day, how was your feeling?
Well, I was very nervous at first, and it's funny because my husband said, "Oh, you did a podcast." I'm like, "What? I did a what?" He says, "You did a podcast." Okay. Oh, whatever. You can call it that if you want. I mean, I was very nervous at first, and I just wanted to meet and greet as many people as I could and say hello and get to know as many people as I could on my live stream. Of course, on that first live stream, there weren't that many people. I wanted to talk about an interesting subject, and so my subject was creativity. And I also had as my heading that it was my first live stream. So I just wanted to have a conversational live stream, something just kind of general.
Okay.
But I think it went better the next live stream when I had a good lesson to teach.
Okay.
And that's how my live streams were after that. Is that I had a good lesson to teach thereafter.
That's pretty cool. So, dear viewers, if you haven't followed Teacher Joy or supported her, please, it's high time for you. Follow her, support her. By the Teacher Joy, have you made your schedules for your lessons? There is a question. Someone wants to join your private lessons or private courses, group lesson.
Oh. No, I haven't made a schedule for any more private lessons, but I will be putting them up there. If you want to, though, you can always request one.
Okay.
You know, if you don't see a time or whatever that you want, always request one, because I'm going to be open to working with you to set something up that's going to be good for both of us. Always.
Okay, so I believe that our viewers are listening to you. So if anyone wants to request a lesson with Teacher Joy, go visit her account. It's very easy. You will find request a lesson. Click the button, then all done. Choose your time, and you'll get the notification, Teacher Joy. You know that you'll be sent an email automatically by the system.
That's right. And I will be more than happy to work with you to set something up.
Okay, so let's move on a little bit more. So, Teacher Joy, you joined August, it's September, October, around 4 months now, okay?
Yes.
So, during these 4 months, as you know, actually, you didn't see the older Hallo. Hallo has changed. Hallo changed a lot over the period of time. I joined at the very beginning last year, March, as a student. That is the surprising part. I was one of the luckiest students who was promoted as a teacher on this app. And after that, few other students are promoted, and their teacher, I'm sure you know them, Ahmed, who lives in Poland, and then Khadija, she's from Algeria. And there are a few other teachers who were promoted from the student status. I don't see them anymore. I don't know the reason why. The other teachers I used to see when I joined, like teacher Ryan, he still has Sophia, then teacher Julie, and I'm trying to remember, as many teachers as possible.
I think it's so amazing that you did that. You and Ahmed and Ajia, am I pronouncing her name correctly?
That's right.
Yes.
And also what happened in a teacher Joy, I'm just explaining briefly. I try to give my best efforts to help our students, because I was a student. I knew what are the problems of the students. Okay. And I used to teach freely every Saturday and Sundays, Ielts, all the different modules, especially speaking tasks 1, 2, and 3. And surprisingly, many Hello teachers joined my live stream to support our students. This is how I came to know all other teachers, most of the students from the beginning, and also the hierarchy people like June, Ben, and other people, and admins as well. And when they found that I was really doing great, and many teachers supported me, and after 300 hours of live streaming, I remember that I was asked by few teachers, now it is high time for you to apply as a teacher. Then I said to them, look, I don't fit in the criteria. Then said, yeah, just do it. Maybe we can have a talk to our higher recruitment team. And eventually I was successful, and I'm grateful to those teachers. I always mention their names every time: Ryan, Sophia, and specially teacher Marakan. I don't see her for the last few days. And teacher Julie, there were another teacher, Sophie, master teacher. I'm trying to teach a Peter, teacher Artha. I don't see them anymore nowadays, many of them. They helped me a lot to about becoming my teacher and talk to the higher people. Okay. So as a successful teacher, I believe that, as you mentioned it, perseverance, number one, consistency. And I try to read each and every comment, Teacher Joy. Even
Okay.
sometimes I don't answer them, but I read it. And
Okay.
if it is relevant to your lessons or class, I answer it. If it is not, I ignore it. And sometimes there are some students who are challenging. I have to just ignore them.
Okay.
And also, if I say something, I need to show them I'm going to do it. Like they ask, "Oh, teacher, when you're coming to teach us?" So I mention, "Oh, this time, please join us." And sometimes, if I miss for some reason, they comment, "Oh, teacher, we have been waiting for you. Why you didn't come on that time?" It happens really few times when I become sick, or maybe I couldn't wake up because my clock, the alarm didn't work properly. So these are the some ways how I have, I don't think that I'm that much successful, but I'm trying my best. That's I can say. And
Right.
and if
And
you,
we're on a live stream right now. I thought that chats didn't happen anymore on live streams.
no, it should happen. It's public live stream. Okay, I made it public so that other people can come.
So you click on live stream, and then if you click on
Public,
public,
everyone can,
then the
everyone
chats
can.
are allowed.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to write that down. Okay, good. Because I got the impression that they told us, oh, you should only do the live classes. You're not supposed to do the live streams anymore. That the chats weren't going to be allowed anymore. And I'm like, well, what's the point? What's the point of doing the live stream is if all you're doing is just talking at a group of people and they can't participate.
Well, this is the new rules came, over the last 2 months. One moment, teacher, I'm answering. Sky, if you have any problem, please can you email us to support at the rate of hello.tv with all details, your account details, the problems, the screenshots, so that it can be discussed by our admin panel. We have got an admin panel now, okay, who are much, much responsible than before. We, read each and every complaint, each and every suggestion, each and every information which will be helpful for our students, because without students we are nothing. So we value each and every comment. So Sky, that would be my suggestion, please. If you just email, I'm sure you know that once again, support at the rate of hello.tv. Okay, but if your answer is already in the F and Q, frequently asked questions, possibly they are not going to reply you back. Remember that. Hi, Jose, welcome again. Uh, so Rose again, Alina, and let me read Linda, and all other people. Welcome, guys, once again. We're having conversation. It's Teacher Joy. If you have any questions or comments, please write in the commentary section. I'm sure that Teacher Joy will be able to answer it. Okay, Teacher Joy. Now is a very important question.
Okay.
Professionalism.
All right.
How do you define professionalism as a teacher on Hello and outside of Hello? It could be a professional at your personal life, or maybe on another platform, or on this platform.
I believe professionalism comes from how you treat other people. I
Okay.
really do.
Could you please explain a little bit more? Because some of our
Yes.
viewers may not be able to comprehend the one sentence.
You need to treat other people with courtesy and consideration at all times and respect. You need to be respectful of others. At least that's how I feel I need to treat others to be professional.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I mean that's what I mean as far as behavior wise. As far as I mean, sometimes people are talking about like the dress code or whatever. Obviously, I'm not going to show up in my swimsuit for a live stream. I'm going to be dressed appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
So appropriately meaning I've got sleeves on and I'm not wearing my pajamas or my swimsuit. Um, I've brushed my hair and brushed my teeth, you know, so that I am prepared. I show I'm prepared for my class. And another thing, again, I'm prepared for my class too. But I think mainly it addresses how you treat other people. I think that's the big thing professionalism is about.
Okay. So I'm going back to another question. I've forgotten earlier. Teacher Joy, you mentioned that you speak more than two languages, right?
No. Um, Obviously, I'm fluent in English. And at one point, I would say I was almost fluent in Spanish. I had taken enough Spanish that I was almost fluent in Spanish, but I haven't really used it that much over the last 15 to 20 years. So my Spanish is pretty spotty now. I
Okay.
can catch a word here, a word there, you know, a phrase, you know, uh, but I'm certainly not, I can't speak it nearly as well as I used to. I understand more than I can speak it. It's too bad because the truth of the matter is, if you do not use it, you lose it.
That's
It
right.
is absolutely the truth.
Okay. There are one more question from Hossein. Before that, Kamran has asked, "How can I join here?" Oh, Kamran, unfortunately, because I'm one of the teachers, like Teacher Joy. When a teacher makes a public live stream, students are not able to join. That is the Hello policy. Only another Hello teacher or fellow teacher can join us freely. If you would like to join Teacher Joy's live stream, book a lesson, private lesson, or maybe join her lessons. She's going to update very soon. Or if you like to follow her, you'll get all the notification automatically. Okay. And Jose has a question, Teacher Joy. I always
Sure.
have the debate with other users how important it is to know about grammar to reach good level of English. That's really a very good question.
How important is it to know grammar?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty important.
And honestly, Teacher Joy, before starting this live stream, I was in another live stream, and that person is telling he's from the USA and he's an English teacher and he was teaching something incorrect grammatically. I couldn't help myself making a comment. And when he saw my comment, he just become furious and saying all these blah blah things, uh, which really actually I didn't expect. And I was really doubtful about the person, whether a teacher can talk publicly about another person being disrespectful. It was really about grammar. Okay, the question was about grammar. Okay, so thank you very much, Teacher Joy, for the clarification. I always compare if English language is a body, grammar is the bone that gives you the shape of the body.
Yes.
Okay, so how many countries have you visited up to now?
I have I have mostly gone on your recorded live streams. I've only visited a couple of your live streams that you are like that were live and happening then. Um, but I have jumped on, or not jumped, but gone on your recorded live streams back through August, back through when I came and visited, and I've always been very impressed um, with what your live streams are composed of. I love the ones where you take them around the city of London.
Yeah, Teacher Joy, I was not asking about you. Sorry, maybe my question is not clear. I said to you, apart from the USA, did you go to any other country outside of the USA?
Yes. Other countries. I've gone to Mexico several times. When I was a very little girl, I went to England and I spent a summer in Spain when I was in high school. and stayed with a host family. So that's why I say I came very close to being fluent in Spanish, because I was using it every day that I was there to get around to. There were a group of us that our host families were very busy people. And so we decided the only way we were going to get to see that country is if we got together and saw it together. So we did. We went all over the place and talked to people. It was an amazing experience. And yeah, when I did not want to come home. It was a lot of fun, and Spain is a beautiful, there's a lot of beautiful places in Spain, and I got to go to the running of the bulls in Pamplona. It was just an amazing experience.
Okay, that's really cool. So have you got 10 minutes more, Teacher Joy?
Sure.
Okay, so Teacher Joy, now it is very important question. Very often, when I make public live streams, people and viewers come and ask this common question. I want to know your opinion. How do you define the difference between the pronunciation and the accent?
How do you know the difference?
How do you define the difference? How do you define the difference between the pronunciation and accents? Because many of our learners are confused. They don't know which one is pronunciation and which one is accent.
Well, I mean, you have South Africans, Australians, New Zealanders, the Brits, Americans, but these are established accents. And with these accents, there's an established pronunciation too.
Okay.
So we already know how an Australian versus the British versus the Americans are going to pronounce the same word. It's kind of an established for each accent.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, of course, you've got somebody who's traveled so much that they've got a real hodgepodge of an accent. And there's a few of those people out there, but very few, thankfully. So I would have to say that an accent is an established pronunciation in a way. So I've heard students ask, what if I want a British accent, or what if I want, they want a certain accent? And I'll tell them, well, I would spend most of my time on a teacher's live stream that has that accent. Listen to that teacher. Take lessons from that teacher, if that's the accent that you want.
Right.
Because they're going to help you with that established accent and the pronunciation of those words.
Okay.
So, because, for example, living in Southern California, we learn what you would call Mexican Spanish. I went to Spain and it sounded like everybody was lisping. It took me a couple hours to get used to that difference in accent, because all the C's and Z's are instead of
Okay.
yes. So, but it's a different, it is a different pronunciation, but it is an accent. It's a different accent.
Okay.
But once what the different accent is for those two different locations, you know how to speak it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Teacher Joy, say, if you have to give one advice today for all of our learners who like to develop their English language, what would that be?
You're saying double up?
Double up, yeah. Take their English language to the next level.
I would invest in some lessons with your favorite teachers, and I would practice, 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 and practice some more.
Great.
And by practicing, that could mean practice speaking with your group of Hallo friends, and be sure you choose some friends that are serious about their language learning, so that they're working hard on their accents and pronunciation. I know a lot of students are watching either British or American TV, depending on what accent they want. So I know when I was learning Spanish, I would watch, there was plenty of Spanish TV stations. I would watch the I would watch the telenovelas, and I'd repeat after them. I found that very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Doing that sort of thing, on your own time, if you have to practice by yourself. But I think mainly those two things. You need to take some lessons with your favorite teachers, and you need to practice.
Okay, that's great. So, do you watch, movies?
Do I watch movies?
Mm-hmm.
Well, before COVID, I used to go to quite a few movies. Yes.
I mean to say, not only through the cinema theater, possibly through YouTube, online, Netflix, or any other
Yes.
resource.
Yeah. Occasionally. Yeah, I do.
And I'm sure you mentioned that you like science fiction movies as well.
I'm watching a series called The Expanse.
Expanse. Okay, I saw that advertisement. Okay,
Yeah,
all right. Did you ever watch the X Files?
I did.
Okay, which character did you like? David Duchovny or Dana Scully?
I liked Mulder.
Yeah, his original name is David Duchovny, and Dana Scully is Scottish actress that lives in the US.
Mm-hmm.
I think Gillian Anderson.
Yes.
Okay, that's really great.
They're both really good, though.
That's right. Okay, Sky, thank you very much, Jose. And they're having some conversation. These people, that's cool. So, dear viewers, we are almost at the end of the live stream because teacher Joy has to leave. If you have any more question, please do let us know in the commentary section. Then we're going to finish today's live stream. And thank you very much, guys, for joining, for making comments, for coming, for your
Yes.
presence.
Thank you for your questions.
And honestly, teacher Joy, I've noticed and realized that many of our learners, they watch silently. They never make comments. But even their presence makes our live stream really amazing, wonderful, and exciting as well. And you know how I understand when I joined their live stream, they said, "Oh, teacher, that day you're showing the Buckingham Palace." I was watching it silently. Then I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Okay, that's really cool." All right. I have this extra bonus in a live stream because very often when I was a student, people always requested, can you please go to Buckingham Palace, London Bridge, Tower of London, Tower Bridge, Thames River, London Eye, Big Ben, Trafalgar Square, Oxford Circus, Oxford University. So I had to go twice to the Oxford University. And last year, when the COVID started, I used to work in Cambridge University campus. I made maybe more than 14 live streams from there.
Wow.
But nothing
You live
was
in such an exciting place, Teacher Rahat.
yeah, it's a part of my job, honestly, teacher, because I work for the National Health Service, so on a contractual basis. So if wherever I get the contract, I have to go. That's why it is very my opportunity to move around from. I live in Essex, but I have to go London, Oxford, Cambridge, Sheffield, you know, Birmingham, Manchester, Leeds, and all the famous places.
Yes. You are so fortunate. I'm sure it doesn't feel that way sometimes, but to live in such an exciting place.
That's right. I don't feel it seems to be natural to me. All
You've
right.
been there so long.
Around 17 years. I was born in Bangladesh, so Bengali is my first language. So mother tongue English is my second language. But I can also speak in Hindi, Urdu, Arabic. I had to learn Arabic because I got a job as a pharmacist before coming to the UK. I was in Saudi Arabia, so I had to
Wow.
learn the language before I practiced as a pharmacist and got the registration. And
Wow.
as you said, obviously that was 17 years ago because I didn't practice a lot. I forgot many Arabic words. I can understand on and off, and I can speak on and off,
Right.
And I was working for the British Armed Forces in the medical corps as a civilian captain. So I was posted in Germany for a year and the Falkland Islands for a few weeks. So when I was in Germany, I had to learn the basic German language, as a part of our culture. Though we are based in the British cantonment and secured area, but when we used to go for shopping during the weekends, we needed to have the conversation with the local bus
Yes.
driver, taxi driver, supermarket people, restaurants and lot of places.
I think at first I'd be relying on my little dictionary a lot.
Yeah, I used to carry a tiny dictionary.
Yes.
And also, in the mobile phone nowadays there is translations, so I type
Mhm.
in English, it comes in German, then
Yep.
well, we get it. How are you? Yeah, good. Danke schön. I'm good. Thank you. And yet, the teacher, Joy, really, it's my pleasure once again to get you as my guest
Oh,
speaker.
thank you so much for your time, Teacher Rahat.
It's
I
my
really enjoyed myself. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And we believe that we have to, in the future, if you have time, maybe we can continue more, live streams. And it is kind of also publicity and marketing, passive marketing. And
Hmm.
I always, you don't have the schedules, otherwise I could have shown your schedules to our viewers so that they can straight go to your account and join your lessons and classes, you
Hmm.
know but anyway, when you update, please let me know. Maybe we'll go for another short this type of interview for the our learners to know about your classes and timings. Then you can
Yeah,
explain how they can join.
sounds good. I will let you know.
Sure. Thank you very much once again. And do you have anything to say for our viewers before we wrap up tonight's live stream?
Practice, practice, and definitely take some classes from Teacher Rahat. He's a good one.
Yeah, I'm not a native like you. People
He
never.
won't steer you wrong.
Okay. Thank you
Well,
very
you
much.
know what? You sound almost like a native. You're only this far away, and I barely see any space there.
That's right. I'm trying to develop my accent in the RP accent. If you know that, the just
Hmm.
pronunciation, which is we call sometimes Queen's accent or the accent of the Cambridge University BBC English. I
Hmm.
took some private lesson from an white English teacher to develop some of my sounds, which literally I could improve, but still sometimes I'm having difficulties. It's because I was not born here and my childhood was in another country. Whatever I learned from my country, it is now a bit difficult to amend to create the accurate sound sometimes. But eventually, I did overcome 80%, I should say. The 20% still I'm having a bit difficulties.
I think you're closer to 90% now. I
I
do.
don't know.
You're very, very close. Very close.
But as a matter of fact, I like to share with you and other viewers, I study a lot every day to develop myself because I make lots of mistakes many times about the sounds. And so I got to be careful. Sometimes our learners and viewers think that teachers are models. They shouldn't make mistakes. But yeah, honestly,
But we do
so
sometimes. We do. Every once in a while, of course we do.
okay, so this is how I practice every day. And honestly, teacher Joy and everyone, learning is never ending episode, I should say.
That's right.
We learn every day,
Every
especially,
day.
and we develop ourselves.
That's right. I had a student ask me something about a term that I'd never heard before. She said something called phrasal verbs.
Mm-hmm.
Phrasal verbs.
Yeah,
But
phrasal.
it's the same thing as an idiom. It's an idiom that has a verb and a phrase in it.
And it's not like that. Phrasal verbs basically, teacher Joy, when a word uses a preposition after that, sometimes depending on the preposition, the meaning changes.
Mm-hmm.
We call those verbs phrasal verbs. Say, look up, look into, look
Yeah,
over, look at.
yeah,
So these are phrasal verbs for look.
yeah. And I was noticing that most of the idioms were phrasal verbs that
That's
I
right.
was covering. Most of them were phrasal verbs, but I had never heard the term before.
Okay.
So I was glad she brought it up, and I said, "See, I learned something today."
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, teacher Joy, do you have much time? A little bit
No,
more?
I have to go and get ready. I've got a class.
All right, guys. I wish I could request teacher Joy to stay more, but as you see that she has got a class.
We'll
Uh,
get together another time.
Certainly. So, dear viewers, once again, follow her, support her, and subscribe to her private lesson. And she's going to update her other courses and group lessons very soon.
Yes.
And definitely, you're going to know it because, through this kind of live stream, I always try to bring each and every teacher to, get to know with our viewers and to make their publicity and their lessons and courses.
Thank you so much, Teacher Rahat. You
Yeah,
have a nice evening.
yeah, it's midnight here. I have to
Oh,
sleep
yeah,
now.
that's right.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.
Okay, dear viewers, that was the US Hello Teacher Joy who was with us as a guest speaker, and I'm sure that you have listened to her and learned a lot. Thank you very much for your support and all the lovely viewers who are making comments. Elena, Kulsum, Rose, James, Paula, and who else? Jose. Let me see, I'm scrolling down. Kamran, Mozamil, and Kulsum as well, Linda, Cuckoo, Rai, Reen, and everyone. Thank you very much, dear everyone. I have to go to sleep, and I have got another lesson after 5 hours. I need to have sleep, otherwise, I'll be tired. And Huston, thank you very much, guys, for joining here, for coming here, making comments, and make this live stream amazing. You viewers are amazing. Without you, we are, as a teacher, nothing. And because of your love and support today, where I am, and I've got more than 146,000 followers, I'm much, much grateful to you. I wish I could do something for you, which is why every week I make 2 to 3 free live classes for you. Grammar, one of them. Another one is Ielts. Another one is vocab and basic pronunciation. Remember to join and support us, and we'll see you in the future. Thank you very much. You take care, everyone, and bye.